Bringing Scott Bauer, let's bring the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. He's joining us to take a look at a few names he's got his eye on. Scott, news of the Biden transition team gaining funds and access to information appears to be giving the markets a bit of a lift today. We're talking new all-time highs in the Russell and the Dow.
You know, Ben, it's the age-old, not just adage, but the fact that the market does not like uncertainty.
Big time.
Right? So you know, that's really what this is all about. It's more so the fact that, okay, it looks like this transition is going to happen. Of course, not, you know, it's not set in stone yet, and the market likes it. Now, I think the market also does like the fact that Janet Yellen was chosen because she's considered, you know, more of that centrist. She could probably appease both sides. She, at least at this point, is very much in favor of more stimulus and of the Fed keeping rates low. And the market really likes that.
Yeah, the market's ability to shrug off some of the uncertainties. They're getting answers, but also the familiarity in terms of the relationship that we've seen in the response to much of Janet Yellen's policies and approaches towards many expected to support this lower for rates for longer type methodology or approach towards. Let's talk regaining confidence in the economy or composure here. Let's talk about some of the pot stocks which are bid today. Amidst the Biden gains that we've seen and recent news, we've got CGC, ACB, Tilray. I also noticed the ETF MJ also well bid. All these names are well taking off.
Yeah, there's another one also, GTI. But the bottom line is, you know, a Biden presidency is obviously much more favorable to federal cannabis reform. Now, whether that really happens or not, because if the Republicans wind up keeping the Senate, you know, that becomes much less likely. However, there could be a real push for that in the near future, not even just off in the distance. So that's why you're seeing this continued rally in many of these stocks. And, you know, these are stocks that are still, you have to remember, beaten down almost 70-80% still from their highs that they were. In the overall industry here, you know, you look at some of these stocks, especially the ones you were talking about, Ben, the CGC and ACB and Tilray, and these things have not traded anywhere near their 200-day moving averages for quite a while. And, you know, this rally is putting them there. But if you look at the option market in these today, and this is a continuation, today it's almost 90% call volume. For instance, in CGC, 55,000 options have traded, 53,000 of them are call options. ACB, almost 200,000 options, about 80% of those are call options. So there's a lot of optimism there.
Well, that explains some of the price activity. ACB gapped higher today. They're currently up on the day by almost 25%, currently trading $8.95. So to put that into perspective, we're talking about a $1.75 move. Let's talk about how it's not just pot stocks and, well, the indices that are on the move higher today and getting a bid. Energy stocks also bid. You've got EOG, you've got Chevron, you got COP, you've got Exxon. I mean, these are some big names, and they're getting a lift as well associated with this move higher that we're seeing in crude. We took a look at it at the top of the show, up and through some key resistance here as of recent, and, well, expectations for demand to continue to come back. This is directly tied to some of the vaccine news. Would you agree, Scott?
Absolutely. And if you were to pick one sector, Ben, that has been the laggard
big time
for years, it's energy.
Yeah.
And even with these massive moves, they're still, you know, they're still down 60, 70, 80% over the last couple of years. However, from a technical standpoint, you look at an EOG, you look at a Chevron, you look at a ConocoPhillips, even Exxon here, and these things have all popped right to their 200-day moving averages and higher, places that they haven't been at in years. So this truly is, you know, I don't want to necessarily call it a breakout yet, but this is a massive amount of catch-up trade, if you will, for a sector that has just lagged for what seems like years and years.
Scott, we're looking at the ES here right now, near all-time highs. We're looking at crude, how it's been lagging, to say the least here. I mean, these two products oftentimes track each other very closely. I was just thinking to myself, not only in terms of what we're seeing here as far as, well, a weaker dollar we've got, which supports both of these products. We have the indices here, obviously well bid on some optimism tied to that. You've got the vaccine news. And then ultimately, Scott, I keep looking at this moving crude here, and I keep thinking, you know, we don't talk always about how lower crude prices beget higher higher crude prices, if we start to see that play out, if some of the demand starts to return, I mean, we could really see this thing move here.
No doubt about it. And Ben, a conversation you and I have all the time is being range bound. And crude now has not only tipped to that top end of that range, that really defined range that it's been trading in for quite a while here, but it is now broken through that upper end.
Okay.
So, this has a lot of room to go on the upside.
All right, API today, EIA, again, as mentioned, the U.S. dollar right now, and obviously optimism tied to demand all support prices here and continue to. We'll keep an eye on some of the inventories reports here coming out today, this afternoon, and tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Bauer, really appreciate you joining us here. A great look at a couple stocks on the move here and some of the recent news, the fundamentals tied to the bid that we're seeing. Scott Bauer is the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Ladies